else. I've kicked everybody else off it. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. Very nice to be back with you. Welcome to the start of a brand new week. I'm back here at the farm, back in my bedroom. It's going to be a crazy week. I shall tell you more in just a moment, but just let me tell you what's happening today. So, teachers on holiday, you can watch the live. Brilliant. Thank you, Jenny. Lovely top. This is an oldie actually from Karen McEwen, who makes those amazing things, and you have to follow her on Instagram or Facebook and get onto her mailing list, and she's just doing some lovely new things actually, so do go and check that out. I'll pop a little tag up later. Yeah, in the pink. The pink is just such a jolly colour, isn't it? Just sort of reflects light and warmth back into your skin, whatever skin tone you are. I think it's a good one. So, well, yeah, a bit of a crazy weekend, super busy doing lots of things, but then yesterday afternoon I took my two middle ones, Kit and Brella, to Garsington Opera, and this is an arts foundation that I've supported for many, many years actually. They do a lot of work with young artists and young singers and musicians, and it's really great. It's outdoors, it's kind of quintessential English countryside, and you take a picnic and it's just all lovely. So we got all dressed up. So Kit was wearing his new dinner jacket, which he'd bought actually for his leavers due at school at sixth form, and then of course it was cancelled because they all got pinged, and it was just, anyway, dreadful. So this was its first outing, and he had one of those proper bow ties that you have to tie, but of course hadn't worked out how to tie it, so we were rushing around trying to leave, and in the end I said, look, just put it in the car with you, sit in the front seat, you know, you can use the mirror. And anyway, so he's downloading all these pictures and tutorials, finally made it and got it, and it was looking good. So if you want to see the pictures, go to the Lizelle Me, that's my own Instagram, and you'll see some of those pictures. But something I wanted to share with you quickly is I wore a piece of jewellery and I had lots of comments about it, so I just thought I'd show it to you here. And it's something that I bought at a jewellery auction, and it's a real kind of heirloom piece, and I love jewellery that has meaning. I love jewellery that says a story. So, I mean, for example, I'm wearing my Eucalyptus range at the moment, and Eucalyptus is the symbol of strength and fortitude, and I need a little bit of that this week for reasons I shall explain later. Anyway, I spotted this, and I got it for two reasons. Well, three. One is I just love it. This is it. It's in this really beautiful antique vintage box, and they just don't make things like this anymore, do they? It was made by somebody in the Burlington Arcade. It says Hancock's and Co. I don't know even if they still exist, but look at that. It's not diamonds, it's like semi-precious gemstones, but it's beautifully made. It's Edwardian, and what I loved about it is that the stones are pink and green. Now, you may know that the colours for Earle Wellbeing are pink, two little shades of pink with a highlight of green. And those colours I got actually from the shades of the camellias that grow outside my studio windows in London. And I just have always loved pink, kind of being in the pink. I thought it's just such a well-being phrase, isn't it? Anyway, so that's the necklace that I wore. And when I was looking at the notes in the auction catalogue, it said that it was the colours of the Suffragette movement. Now, I didn't know this. I mean, maybe you were aware of this. But this is obviously a necklace that was made for somebody who was clearly a bit out there, because the suffragettes, you know, they were really persecuted for women's rights, votes for women, all of that. So is it amazing to think that there was probably a young woman who had this made, or who wore it, or who was given it as a symbol of freedom and solidarity and female empowerment? So I wore it last night. Let me just turn it round. Yeah. I love it so much that I wore it with a strapless dress so that you could really see it, that it was the real kind of highlight rather than the dress. And anyway, so I just wanted to share it with you, because obviously on my stories I couldn't really give the details of it, but I just thought it was too good not to share, and the reasons why I particularly love this piece. A little bit of a magpie. And I just love things that are beautifully made, actually, which is why my own jewellery, the Lizelle jewellery range, is handmade by artisans in Peru. It's all fair trade gold. And as I say, the Eucalyptus, which I've got on at the moment, in fact, maybe I'll pop a Eucalyptus necklace on, because it is just that symbol of fortitude. And when I have them made, they're all made to be botanically accurate. You know me and the accuracy of things and the detail. So this is 24 karat gold vermeil, and vermeil gold is where they take a really thick coating. So underneath this is solid sterling silver, all fair trade, which is really unusual to find fair trade sterling silver. I had to work really hard on that. and then they put a very thick layer either of the rose gold or the yellow gold. And it's hand mined by artisans in Peru, and it's fair trade certified. And I've been down a fair trade gold mine actually in Kenya a few years ago, which was, I think it was the first fair trade gold mine to be certified in Africa. And it makes such a difference to the health and the safety and the well-being and the fair wages paid to the artisan mine workers. So it's a really important thing. And then I've got the little dangle, so it's got 3 little adjustable lengths, and then there's a little dangle that hangs down at the end that also has the eucalyptus. Yeah, I know several have got the eucalyptus, because you can stack the rings as well. I've just got the one on at the moment. I had a meeting last week with a friend, and she was wearing her eucalyptus ring, and it was so great to see. I've even got my own hallmark, so the little round thing at the catch here that says LE, Les Earle Jewellery, and it has my hallmark, which I had to get from the London Assay office, where everything goes. Once they arrive in this country, they then go off to be hallmarked specially. So let me just see if I can pop this on. The reason I mentioned the eucalyptus is that they're all on sale, the entire eucalyptus collection at the moment, over on Les Earle Jewellery. You may have seen it in the magazine. Each issue we try and highlight a different collection, and I just felt that kind of resilience and fortitude was going to be a very good one. Maybe I lift it up a little bit because this neckline's a bit high. There we go. So I've got my resilience on. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lisa. Harry's girl, you have the neroli one. Yeah, the neroli one. Oh, that's interesting. Who is saying this? Sue is saying, stunning piece of jewellery, Liz. Just finished reading a Suffragette novel called Sophia by Anita Anand. Fascinating. Ooh, good. I think I'm looking for some holiday reading, because next week, if you're watching me in real time, I'm going to be off comms for a bit. Anyway, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get to Italy to see some of the Italian side of my family and have a break with the kids. So I'm going to be doing some things, and I'll be posting them up on YouTube, so make sure that you are following the YouTube, Les Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel. I'm also going to be recording my Friday Fives, and I will have those running on podcast as well, so there'll be plenty. But I will at some point switch off for a little bit, and I think I'm going to need that, because my big news this week is I am actually moving house. Yeah, I'm leaving the farm. So there have been quite a few changes in my personal life, which I know many of you know about, and thank you for all your kind messages. And yeah, it's finally happening. It's been a while coming. So I've actually today got the movers in. I've just told them to go and have a coffee break and be quiet because I'm doing my live. But I am literally downstairs. It is chaos. Packing boxes. I mean, I don't know how many of you have moved house recently, but you just forget how much stuff there is in all the cupboards and everything. But don't be too sad, because I'm going to a really beautiful house, which I'm really happy with, and I'm going to be developing the garden and fresh starts, new beginnings. You know, it's really important to be positive and to just embrace change and go with it. And, you know, very few things anyway stay the same. And it's important to move forward with positivity. So I look forward, when I get back from my break in Italy, I really look forward to being able to show you my new place and all the new things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing some decor and just, you know, kind of arranging furniture. And the garden is the main thing, because there's not really anything there at the moment. So I'm going to be planting veggies and all sorts. I do have my balance drops. Thank you. I'm not going far. I'm staying in the West Country, so I'm still going to be in my local community. And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to it. But this week I know is going to be a bit frazzled. So I am live today. I'm live on Wednesday. Don't do my lives on Friday, obviously, although that's when I'll be having my podcast and lots of other things going on. So it's all good. So thank you very much for all your support and all of that. So I'm not going far. Now, today being Monday is traditionally when we do a kind of Makeup Monday or Makeover Monday. So I thought it would be really nice to carry on with the beauty theme, because there's just so much around at the moment that is really special to summer. So I thought we'd dive into a few things. And my guest today is the amazing, brilliant Margaret Dabbs, a fab female founder. You know how we love our female founders here. So I'm really hoping that she is here. Yes, she is, because she's going to talk about a new special offer that we have with Liz Loves, and also some great treats for feet and hands, perfect for the summer. So thank you so much. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Liz.
How are you? Whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm actually at home in my kind of TV room at home. So I'm hoping the internet will will be okay for us.
I know that feeling. I had to run down the corridor into Kit's room and just say, come off it, stop streaming. And the little one downstairs, you know, with all his Roblox gaming and stuff, I just literally, so much chaos going on here this morning that I did relent and actually put him in front of a screen this morning. I thought, just for a few hours, you'll be fine. And then we'll go and get some fresh air later. So now, for those who missed our last live, I think, gosh, was it last autumn maybe?
It was really early, wasn't it? And with the lockdown, we were only just getting used to, you know, Zooms and everything else.
That's right.
So, yeah, I think it was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about. A year ago. Oh, don't. Well, hopefully all that's hopefully going to be soon behind us. But tell us about your journey, because you are known, I mean, primarily for feet, aren't you? You have the most amazing foot care range, which I love, and we're going to be talking about some of the new things. But how did you start? How did you get to create this amazing brand?
Well, do you know, Liz, when I first started, I realised I was seeing patients and they were all asking me what they could use for their feet. And I realised that treatment remedies were pretty unpleasant to use and beauty products didn't work on a treatment level. So I set about really just taking ingredients, sourcing ingredients from around the world and using them in my clinics. And then patients started asking for them. I was seeing dramatic results. Yeah. Obviously, I knew what I wanted to achieve, whether it was, you know, sealing a crack in the skin, whether it was reducing hard skin, hydrating. There were all sorts of aspects, you know, symptoms of athlete's foot, this kind of thing. So there were all sorts of symptoms that I was kind of working to eradicate. And kind of the rest is almost history. I didn't mean, all I can say is I didn't mean for this to have happened.
Well, you've created this amazing brand. So you started from a position of authority and knowledge. So you were a qualified podiatrist, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Working up in the West End.
Yes.
And so really from the treatment side, so in terms of authenticity and knowledge, expert knowledge, that's what I love about brand founders who bring expert knowledge into a conventional range that we can all then enjoy at home.
Yeah, no, I think it's really important. And anybody that starts to work on something that they don't know inside out, I mean, it's an impossible task. And so I think us females, we become so dedicated to what we're doing, and we live it, we eat it, we breathe it, don't we? And it's, you know, it just comes, and I think that passion from within comes out. And I mean, the same with your products, especially in the early days. I kind of think these products are me in a bottle or me in a jar. So it's quite, and I you know, and that is how it is really, isn't it?
Well, and you know they have to work because they have to get past you, and you know they're not designed by a committee of marketing people saying, "Ooh, but you know, let's talk about the packaging and the cost and the advertising." It's actually what's in the bottle, what's in the jar. That's the bottom line, isn't it? That's what's going to work, and that's why you have so many people coming back and buying things again and again, because it really works.
Yeah, it is. I always think, you know, with the big brands, they can sell anything. You know, it doesn't. They've got the brand behind them. But for the small brands, when we're starting out, it has to work, or you're never going to go anywhere.
That's a really good point.
If it doesn't work, people will give up. So, and I think bespoke beauty now is really the thing. People realise that there are specialists around really just formulating for the benefits that product will bring.
Yeah, I love it. And, you know, as my lovely family here on social media know, you know, I really tune in to some of the best experts for that, you know, rather than going with a big kind of global giants. And it's lovely also to support smaller British brands that are doing things well. I also love your clinics. I have to say, I know that you've got lots of clinics now all over, and in fact I have booked myself in later this week for a little treat. I thought before I go to Italy, do you know what, I'm going to go and treat myself to a mani-pedi. Not that I'm going to have any nails left after packing so many boxes. Oh my goodness. So so your team's going to have a challenge.
Thank you. No, the clinics are really great, because that's where I started, and to be able to develop that. And also I've brought in cosmetic podiatry that never existed before. You know, in the same way that you get dentistry, cosmetic podiatry is, you know, we want our feet to be healthy, but we also want them to look good, and that's really what I've concentrated on. Yeah,
a lot of questions already coming in. People saying that they need things for heavy legs, which is perfect. We've got something. Very dry skin, cracked heels. I mean, are these some of the issues that we're seeing now going into summer as the weather gets hotter? We're potentially travelling, we're wearing sandals more, we might be walking on sandy beaches or just walking around barefoot. You know, what are the kind of problems that you see?
Yeah, so absolutely. So for feet, obviously, while we're looking at feet, we're also looking at ankles and legs. And a repeated request is, what are people going to do with their puffy ankles and legs? And I formulated my leg range specifically for that, using trademarked ingredients. So, of course, the heat, it could be genetic, it could be medication or illness related. It could just be that you've been on your feet for long periods of time. It could be the heat. All those different reasons why you get puffiness of the legs. But also beyond that, it's about the laxity of the skin. It's about the firmness, the tautness, the silhouette of the leg. That as we get older, just the same as the face, we have that same effect. Gravity, taking it all down.
Yeah. So which one should we talk about first? Because, by the way, we do have a very generous 20% Liz Loves off hands and feet products for the next 9 or 10 days, which is amazing. So grab them while you can. But I've got your amazing foot scrub. These are things I used this morning, actually love them. The Firming Leg Serum and the Glow Leg Spray. What should we start with?
Yeah. Should we start with the leg serum, because it is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And
I want to use this all over, actually. I love it so much.
Well, I'll tell you where you can use it if you go beyond your legs. I'll tell you in a moment. But this was formulated by me to eradicate that feeling of tired, heavy, uncomfortable legs, to reduce puffiness of the legs, and also to help stimulate circulation, reduce venous decongestion. Right. And I do that by the ingredients. There's a trademarked ingredient in here called leg ants. That's the one that gives that feeling of lightness. This is the one that reduces the puffiness and the water retention from the leg.
It smells really fresh, slightly minty, but not sort of like cheap minty. It smells really a little bit more sophisticated than that. It's obviously got a kind of a herby blend going on here as well. You've got really interesting herbal ingredients, actually, because we know that so many of the herbs and plant extracts do work, don't they, to reduce puffiness?
Yes, they do. In fact, the scent that you have there is the V-tonic complex. Now, that's 5 powerful essential oils: mentha, lavender, rock rose, citrus, and lemon. They work together. They give that immediate cooling effect. And that's why when you apply it, it feels like you're wearing an invisible support stocking, doesn't it? Take it from the ankles all the way up to the hips. But my rule of thumb is, if it wobbles, apply it. Apply it on your bottom. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to need a lot more
then. Amazing cooling effect. And then also the tops of the arms, it will work as well.
Nice.
But immediately, anywhere where it wobbles is the thing. It's a firming serum, so it will work.
And it's also very moisturising, because I find that my shins can get really dry. I know that we don't have many sebaceous glands kind of below the knee, but I find that this really moisturises as well, and it just makes everything look a bit sleeker, as we tend to obviously discard our tights and maybe, get into a pair of shorts or whatever if we're feeling brave, or swimwear. You need something like that,
of course.
I think.
No, absolutely it does. So what we do is we replace our body lotion. So you do no longer need a body lotion.
Great.
And the reason that you found it so hydrating is there's Abyssinian oil, argan oil, sunflower oil, and sweet almond oil in there. So you've got all those antioxidants and those hydrating factors, and that's why the tone of the skin looks so different. That's why it kind of firms and tones. And then you've got the V-tonic complex, which will help to stimulate the circulation, and the leg ants, which reduces the water retention and the puffiness. So all of that together gives you that kind of lovely silhouette on the legs, and it gives you, your legs feel lighter, and they look, the appearances of a slimmer, more toned, more contoured leg.
Fantastic. So you can use it all over hips and thighs, so like beach body, all of that we might be thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, if you read the reviews, so many ladies have said that they have this restless leg syndrome, and they've emailed me, and I didn't know it was going to do that, but they've emailed me to say that at night, they're using it at night before they go to bed, and it is brilliant. It settles them down. Also, if you're somebody, if you're starting to overheat a bit, not only because of the hot weather, but, as we get older, we have all those issues. So it helps to bring that body temperature down before bed. So it really is a secret, a great recipe, a great formulation, and of course made in the UK as well.
Made in the UK. Fantastic. And cellulite, that's obviously the nasty C word here for beauty.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Always. It's about toning and firming. Yeah. And also, if I find that I've forgotten it in the morning after my shower, and I've forgotten it through the day and I'm not at home, it really drives me mad. I feel really cross with myself.
Really?
So, use it in place of your body lotion every day. The legs look better. They feel lighter. Yeah, read the reviews. And for people that really struggle with their legs, you know, even people that have got mobility issues, as long as you can get it from the ankle to the knee, you're going to benefit.
Brilliant. I have to say, you know, it's quite interesting because, you know, thinking about going to Italy, hopefully next week, you know, what am I going to pack? And that for me, you know, because obviously I can't take everything. And so that for me is when I know that I really, really love something, when it actually finds a place in my suitcase. And this is definitely going with me. I'm going to be using it, I think, twice a day because it is hot over there.
Yeah.
Do you ship to Ireland? People are asking. Sorry.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
of course.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. But I had to travel to one of my manufacturers last week in the north of England, and you know, obviously it was limited. It was one night, and I had this in my bag and my foot hygiene cream. Yeah. Those two products. So you're completely right. If they manage to get the space in your luggage, then they're really worth the effort, aren't they?
Then you know that it's a winner. Something else which I really love too, and again I used this in the shower this morning, and my skin is so smooth. Is the toning leg scrub.
Yes.
It is. And what's really interesting about this is I've used, obviously, a lot of scrubs over the years, and I'm, you know, well used to having kind of gritty scrubs with oil and all of that. Not only have you got this amazing smell, but it turns kind of milky.
It does.
When you put the water on it. So you've got the little sort of gritty scrub. I'll just give it a bit of a stir with the end of my makeup brush because I'm sitting at my dressing table. But you can probably hear.
Yes.
Can you hear that
That's
lovely...
the sweet sugar scrub. So the exfoliant in there is the sugar, but also we've got in there again those trademarked ingredients. The V-tonic and the leg ants are in there. So I absolutely love it. Twice a week. Use a small amount because they're really concentrated
I made the mistake of using too much. You only need a tiny bit.
You don't need to.
No.
Tiny bit. And actually I apply it to wet hands onto my legs. You can alternatively have wet legs, turn the water off and apply it to a wet leg so that you don't lose the scrub. It's the same as any other scrub.
And actually I did actually take a bit and use it here as well.
Yes. And the tummy, great on the tummy as well. But doesn't it make your skin look amazing?
Oh, it was just like glowing, like gleaming. I'm going to have to do a whole, you know, body shoot someday. Not just yet. Just hastily.
It's a really great... It really is. But again, it's one of those products that because it works, you really want to use it. But also, you want to savour it. I tend to not waste it, so I keep it for twice a week. And I make sure I don't overuse it because I don't want to run out. Yeah.
It's also, I would imagine, because I did actually then use some excess on my hands as well, which really feels super soft. If you've got gardening hands, you know, where you get kind of ingrained dirt. I know I'm going to be doing lots and lots of gardening when I get back. Everything just sort of gets very dry and kind of claggy on the hands. And to give your hands a really good scrub, actually under some nice warm running water, is just such a treat.
Yeah, it really is as well. And there is the Abyssinian oil and argan oil in here as well. And the sunflower oil. So you've got those hydration aspects. And that's why the skin looks so amazing afterwards. And it feels vibrant and clean and new. So, yeah,
it's called leg scrub. So somebody else has been asking about that. Paula Pilates has garden hands. This is what you need. Seriously, trust me on this. It's a good one. Grab it while it's on offer, definitely. And then the other thing, which is, I've not ever seen a product like this before. I don't know whether it's unique to you. It's called the Glow Leg Spray.
Yes.
So tell us about this. What's this going to do? Now, you have to give this a shake, don't you? Because it's got 2 phases.
Absolutely. So you shake it to activate it, and then you spray. It's not like a 1980s glow spray where you're going to get glitter on you, not at all. And you also don't need to rub it in. So you can spray it from a distance. And it really is.
It's super fine. I don't know whether you can see that.
Well, it is.
Really fine.
It is really super fine. And after you've applied the serum, you can apply just spray the Glow Leg Spray at any point during the day. Again, it's got those trademarked ingredients in there. It will give you the feeling of lighter legs, and it will improve the texture of the skin.
Nice. So you could just keep this with you in your bag. So if you're somebody who's perhaps working, standing up, or you're doing a lot of travelling, and you tend to get that heaviness, How great. What a lovely present for somebody as well. So why do we have to give it a shake? What are the 2 phases in here that you need to combine?
Again, well, we've got the oils in there, of course, which we need to combine, but also the Legance and the V-tonic, and it's also in a water-soluble solution. So we really need to shake it so you get the benefits. You don't want to leave all the goodness at the bottom, and so you want to really shake it so you get the benefit with
it's
every
so cooling.
spritz.
I actually just want to spray it on the back of my neck because it makes your skin feel really good, really good. And the smell, I guess the smell carries through the whole range, doesn't it? This sort of light, fresh, menthol, lemony,
it does.
uplifting.
It's much, yes.
And then what about
absolutely.
things like, cracked heels? I know that's a problem for people with poor circulation, diabetics. Some medications can really dry out your skin as well. Even just wearing sandals, walking around barefoot. What should we be doing? How do you treat cracked heels in the clinic?
Well, cracked heels in the clinic, we treat them. We definitely use exfoliation. So we use it. Obviously, if we're podiatrists, we use a blade, and then we also use the foot file. And you can use the foot file at home. You know my foot file.
It's a great
I don't think there's anything like it anywhere.
The foot file is brilliant.
It is, and everybody that uses it. It's just, it lasts forever. And
that's also going in my bag, by the
but
way. It's going in my suitcase.
It's just hard working, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's guys industrial strength. It's just so hard working, and it does what it's got to do. So let's exfoliate, but again,
and it takes up no room. It's like a ruler. It's super slim. So if you are travelling, it's not like one of these whole bulky things with a handle. In fact, I think it's already been packed in a box somewhere. Otherwise, I'd be showing you mine because it is something I use too.
It's true. But with the face, we exfoliate and then we moisturise. We're going to do exactly the same with the feet. So we've got a cracked heel balm. If it's specifically cracks in the heels that you're worried about, we have an amazing cracked heel treatment balm. If it's the condition of the skin of the feet all over, we've got the hygiene cream, which will also work on scaliness and itchiness and anything that's unsightly. And then, of course, the luxury and the smoothness comes from the foot lotion, which is the first product I ever formulated.
Is it really? It's still a winner. It just shows how good your formulations are. I love your foot lotion. I'm going to have to be ordering some more, actually, because I'm nearly out. And also, the other one I love is your lovely hands, which is in the pump, the hand serum, the hand lotion. That's so good.
The hand lotion, isn't it? But I think what you find with my products is they last and last because they're so concentrated.
Absolutely. I mean, I had a set from when we were talking last year, and they're still going.
And that's with regular use, isn't it?
Regular use. Yeah, absolutely. No,
and we're doing those in tubes.
Are you?
Now as well. So the benefit of having tubes, of course, is that you can carry them around with you in your handbag, and you can have them in the car. So there's a real benefit. There's smaller sizes in tubes.
I was wondering about walking around barefoot. What do podiatrists think about that? Is that a good thing to give ourselves a rest from shoes, or should we be having some support?
Well, I think walking barefoot from time to time is great. I think the problem is the surface we're walking on. And if we're walking on a lot of hard surfaces, that's going to encourage hard skin build-up. And, of course, if you're prone to cracks in the skin, that extra pressure will cause cracks. So it is worth wearing a soft, maybe a really light trainer or a softer sandal from time to time. But a lovely bit of foot exercise is great. And if you're somebody that does yoga, you will really see the benefit of foot exercises. So just maintaining those, the soft tissues of the feet and the arches.
So when you say foot exercises, do you mean kind of like going up and down on your toes, pointing your feet, spreading out your toes, that kind of thing?
Absolutely, and also a great one, you could pick up a tea towel with your toes, for example, or you could pick up a pen with your toes. So any bits of exercise you can do, you can put your 2 feet together and pick up a tea towel or a flannel and it's quite fun, and all the family can join in.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Gosh, next time I drop something on the floor, I should be shoes off and picking it up with my toes. I guess that dexterity, and it's just keeping things flexible and mobile, isn't it?
And keeping things mobile is so important, especially if you've got a bunion joint, for example, because the more you can keep it mobile, the slower those wear and tear changes and the slower the deterioration. Absolutely. And so if you're able to move it back to the position that it started, realign it where it's supposed to be, it will just slow those changes. You can't reverse them, of course, but you keep the joint mobile by keeping it moving.
And is it a good thing to vary our heel height? So, you know, to sometimes be in flat shoes, sometimes to be in really high heels. I mean, is that a good thing?
It's absolutely essential. It's the best thing you can do.
Really?
And also, you know, vary the heel, not only the height, but also the width of the height. You can spread the weight with a wider heel. 1.5 inches is the best heel all over. So 1.5 inches is better than no heel at all.
Is
and
it?
Of course, it's better than a 4-inch heel. So it really is, because it's just the way that it holds your body. That's absolutely the best height heel. But very, and it's all really about the how the foot is being held, the support of the foot. So that's very, very important.
Yeah, gosh, that's really good to know. So it's fine to wear high heels once in a while. In fact, it's possibly a positive thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everything in moderation. And the other thing is, if pain is the biggest indicator, if you're feeling pain, it's a no-no. Don't ignore pain, and that will tell you. You know, if you're thinking, well, that hurts a bit, I wonder if I should be doing it. The answer is don't do it. It's not worth it. So, you know, listen to your body.
Yeah. One of my favourite yoga exercises, well, it's a bit of a cheat actually, it's not really an exercise, it's just lying with your bottom shuffled up as close to the wall as you can with your legs up against the wall.
Yeah.
So that you're in that kind of that shape.
Yes.
And, you know, you just literally, you feel the blood kind of come down from your feet and your ankles, and everything just seems to sort of recharge. Do you think, is that good, a good rest for our feet to do that?
Yeah, it is, of course. And also you've got the fluid. So if you're somebody that builds up fluid, then you've got the fluid and the lymphatic drainage and everything coming down. So, yeah, it really works.
Fantastic. So many great tips, Margaret. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for all your hard work and for your very generous discounts. We really do enjoy that, and I'll make sure that everybody knows about them, because these, seriously, you know, you need to be grabbing some of this while you can. And it's, as I say, it's coming with me. If I get a moment, if I am on social media, which I might be tempted. I don't think I'm going to stay off it all that much, but I'll have a few days off anyway. But I'll post a little pic of my Italian bathroom. You can see what's actually made it onto the Italian shelf.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Well, I hope you have a lovely summer.
Well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. Just got this week to get through. What are you doing? Are you heading away, or are you here for a bit?
I've got to go to Germany, I think, for work. But I'm hoping early September we'll have a little bit of family time.
A break. Oh, well, I wish you well. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for all that you're doing.
And
Take
Liz,
care.
Thank you.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Now you need to leave me, otherwise I click everybody off and then I get into trouble. Oh, wasn't that all just so interesting? Do you know, I think we just forget sometimes how hardworking our feet are. And, you know, they take us literally from A to B and back again all the time. And sometimes don't see the light of day. And, of course, at this time of year, they do. And our legs, too, coming from out of wraps. So, OK, so those late to class, that was Margaret Dabbs, the amazing Margaret Dabbs, who, this is her brand, Margaret Dabbs London, fab female founder. She is a qualified podiatrist, used to have her own clinic. I think she was in Harley Street in the West End, and now has many, many clinics, literally globally. And we have a 20%. It's a Liz Loves affiliate code, okay? So, yeah, but that is, I think, let me let you know when that expires, because I know lots of you like to try things, and then if you like them, go back and reorder while the discount's still going. So that runs until, I think, the 9th of August, okay? So you've got a little bit more time. So if you're watching this on catch-up before the 9th of August, you know where to go, the Margaret Dabbs website. Now, something else that is going to be coming to Italy with me, but I think I'm also needing it in this country, because I went to my brother's barbecue. I was down by the seaside last weekend, down in Kent, and I got bitten. I got bitten all over my ankles and legs, whether they were like grass mosquitoes or I don't know what. And it reminded me of this fab, again, British female founder-led brand that answers a need, a really pressing need right now, and that is an anti-mozzie, anti-bug spray, body lotion, perfume spray that actually smells really, really, really nice. You're coming to Italy, are you? Excellent. And actually keeps the biting critters away. So this is a brand that I discovered many years ago. And I've become a bit of a stalker during the summer because I absolutely love this. It's called Alfresco. This is anti-bug bite moisturiser. And it really works. It's been tested by the London School of Tropical Medicine, no less, where I think they put people's arms, I think they tested it on volunteers, in boxes filled with mosquitoes. Can you imagine? I mean, I would need to be paid a lot of money to do that because they just love me. They munch me. And some of the volunteers didn't have the moisturiser on, and others, the lucky ones, did. And the ones who didn't get bitten. So that was a win. So it's properly tested. It smells amazing. It smells like a really expensive Italian or French cologne, honestly. Love it. Really, really love it. I wonder if it says on here actually what the essential oils are. Lots of different ones. There's patchouli, cinnamon, cedarwood, you know, all the sort of classics that we know that bugs and critters don't like. It's a really good moisturiser. I did a live, I think it was last summer, with the founder, a fab female founder. And it's a very specialist brand. It's a bit like Margaret, you know, focusing on what she knows best, what she really knows about, and what she's researched and what she's trained in, and her professionalism is hands and feet. So you can be sure, you know, these are the real thing. They really, really work because that's her reputation. That's her professional life. That's all she does. Same with Alfresco. All they make are amazingly good smelling anti-bug products. So we have linked up with them and they've given us an affiliate discount. Yes. It's just until the end of August, but that's fine because it's perfect. That's when we want it right now. It's also 20% off with Liz Loves. So super good. All one word, all in capital letters. So for me, this is coming to Italy with me. In fact, I've probably still got, because I'm going to my family house, I'm probably still got a little bit left from last year. Absolutely love it. Will not be without it, especially in the evening. You know how they come out in the evening and they, I don't know, they seem to sit under the table wherever you are in the garden and just, you know, bite your legs to death. Anyway, I'm hopefully going to have lovely looking legs because they will be covered, first of all, in firming leg serum and then the glow leg spray. So they'll be looking good and feeling good and they will be bite free. Now, the other things that they do, which I also use, and this is really, really clever, they this was the, I think, the original moisturiser, and they have this Acqua di Fresco, which is the like a cologne. And it says on it insect repellent, but honestly, you would not know it. Trust me on this. I don't know whether anybody bought it last time. Yeah, you packed this product, Paula. It's just great. You know, you can just spritz it. Actually, I won't spritz it on my necklace because you shouldn't put perfume on jewellery. But the smell, you feel that you've used a really fine cologne spray. And it stops the mosquitoes or, you know, the midges or wherever you are. It just is really, really good. It says here, Acqua di Fresco is an attractive Floriental fragrance. So Floriental is a kind of a new breed or one of the later breeds of fragrances. You used to get fragrances that were either very floral, so very flower perfumes, or oriental, which were the much kind of heavier, sexier, musky smells like patchouli and cardamom and the real kind of warming resins. So this is a Floriental, which means that it combines a little bit of both. So it's not too sweet. Sometimes the real florals I find can be a little bit sickly, and the Orientals can be a bit heavy. So the Floriental is a really good combination. I think it's one of my favourite families of fragrances, the Floriental. So this says it's an attractive Floriental fragrance which makes you unpopular with most biting insects. Yeah, so very popular with those around you because you smell amazing. Especially when worn with the Alfresco moisturiser. Yeah, so a little bit. And they've also got others. So this is another one here. This is a white one. It's got the white bottle. I have a feeling that this was the first one. This is a little bit fresher. This is a little bit more lemony. Let me just give this a bit of a spritz. Oh, yes. That is an amazing smell, okay? So this is just Alfresco. If you see it there, you'll recognise it on the website if you go and have a look. And this was the one that when they were filming in Hollywood, in LA, they had one of the lead actors, I can't remember who it was, it might have been Brad Pitt. Anyway, I think the story's on the website. They were all getting bitten to death. I think they were working in Arizona or in the desert or somewhere. And they had this sent out from the UK. And as a result of that, it's become a bit of a cult thing in Hollywood. You know, if you go to A-listers' bathrooms, you know, like we do, then the chances are that you're going to find this. So it says here, tried, tested and proven since 1996. Made in England, we like that. Nice British product, thank you very much. Fine fragrance spray with botanical extracts. It says here, Alfresco has built up a worldwide fan club, including celebs, mentioning no name. And it says here, you can have freedom without fear. You can just use this to travel. So I love it. And talking about travel, this is possibly the ultimate, okay? You can get all their little fragrances in minis. Yeah, so you can pop it in your cabin baggage if you happen to be flying, so that as soon as you land, you can spritz yourself. You can make sure that you've got a little one in your bag, even if you've got the tiniest little clutch bag, you can take that. Isn't it good? Really, really good. So yeah, the anti-bug. This is Acqua d'Alfresco, which is the Floriental that I was talking about. This one is I think this is the original one. It's called Power, and that's slightly lemony. This is the one that made its way to Hollywood. And then this one, oh, somebody's volunteering to check out Brad's bathroom. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. Can you let us know how it goes? I want to know which Alfresco he's got. Actually, he might have this one, because this one, I think, is a little bit more masculine. This is a bit more manly, because, I mean, come on, guys are going to get bitten too. So why not treat your loved one to a little bit? I wonder if it says on here what it is. So this is, it's a kind of a more slightly, I guess, a more robust, a more kind of herby, slightly woody. A little bit of ginger maybe, a bit of citrus in there. Love it. I'm going to have to look up on the website and see exactly what it is. But anyway, that one's called Planet. So maybe it's, yeah, it smells a bit more kind of earthy and a bit more, yeah, more like, I mean, you can smell the botanical ingredients. I know that they make them with a lot of natural botanical essences. And in fact, maybe, I think I went to something at the Chelsea Physic Garden, which is one of my favourite places. It's the amazing walled garden. In fact, I'm a patron of the Chelsea Physic Garden and a big supporter because they do incredible work, and they're now open. If you happen to be in London, just go online, book, go in. They've got a great cafe. You can sit in the garden. You can have a walk around. They've got fern greenhouses, glass houses that you can walk through. They've got plant exhibits from all over the world that the early explorers brought back. And it was originally, I think it was maybe dating back from like 1600s, it was the medical apothecary for the City of London. So back in the day when the City of London was really just that little bit by Tower Bridge, and the City of London was there, and that's where, you know, Samuel Pepys and all of that, you know, around St Paul's Cathedral, that was the area. And then much further down the river, Chelsea wasn't the big kind of smart, expensive place. It was actually the market garden for London. And that's where they used to send the boats down to get all their vegetables and fruits and orchards and things like that. And that's where the apothecary gardens were. And Chelsea Physic Garden was literally then right on the river. It was before they built the embankment that now is the big road that obviously separates the back of the garden between the back of the garden and the River Thames. But in the old days, they've got these beautiful big gates. If you're passing, have a look. They've got these huge dark wrought iron gates, which were the gates that had steps leading down to the river, and they used to send barges, and the sort of doctors, such as they were back then, the apothecary people, they would send their prescriptions for plants and herbs and extracts down the river, down to Chelsea Physic Garden, and then they'd take them back up by boat, back up to the City of London. Debbie Streeter says, I went 2 weeks ago, Liz, because you mentioned it and you had a lovely day. That's so nice to hear. No, it is a special place, but I have a feeling that you might have to book online at the moment before you go. But they also do workshops and courses. Over the time, I've done medical plant workshops there and learned all about all sorts of things. I did a chocolate workshop there once with Chantal Cody. Do you remember her? She was another fab female founder. She founded the chocolate brand Rococo, and she did a chocolate workshop with all these amazing cocoa pods, and we learnt about cocoa as a plant ingredient, and we made chocolate, and yeah, it was really good. So yeah, have a look at the website. You can sign up. You can get details of all their courses. They're usually one-day courses. Really good, fun things to do. So I think, gosh, we've kind of run out of time already. So what else do I need to tell you about? that's it, I think. I am going to be back, as I say, live on Wednesday. A couple of questions here, talking about the cell return mask. So I saw my lovely Lily yesterday. She managed to make it to the opera, which was great. I have to say, she wasn't feeling perfect, but she did make it through. I think she was on quite a lot of medication, but she made it through. And I felt so sorry for her, because she came out of London, and it took them like 3 hours, I think, to get out of London. I don't know if any of you are in London or were in London yesterday, but the weather, the amount of flooding, the streets were flooded, and she's in southwest London, and they just had to take detour after detour because there was just so much flooding. And because the forecast was rain, she actually got changed. I think she was going to wear some sort of pretty little dress, and then she got changed into one of her amazing vintage outfits. You'll see pictures actually on my stories. She's got a pair of black and green striped trousers, which, only she can carry off, frankly. She's got those lovely long legs, and a really lovely black velvet vintage jacket with a gold trim around the cuffs. But she was just annoyed, because by the time she got down to Garsington, which is in Oxfordshire, of course the sun was shining, and the rain had stopped, and we didn't actually have a drop of rain, so it was really, really, really fortunate, because it was their last night of the season. So they have quite a short season, because it's just a relatively small place. Anyway, it was lovely to see her. I digress. This is a question or a comment actually about cell return. This is from Sarah on Instagram. I don't know if you're watching, Sarah, but thank you for your comment. You said, the best thing that's helped my sleep is the cell return mask. I put it on red mode, and after 5 minutes or so, I am asleep. I rarely recall actually taking it off, but obviously I do, as it's by my bed in the morning. I appreciate it's not a tip for everyone, but a bonus for anyone who has the mask. Absolutely. And there have been clinical studies on that showing that exposure to red light, the red LED light, and bearing in mind this mask has over 1,700 little red lights, and I use it too. It kind of just brings the glow back into my skin, and it helps me to sleep as well, as does magnesium. A lot of comments here about magnesium. This is from Daisy on YouTube, so I don't know if you're watching this perhaps on catch up, Daisy. This was about the interview that I did with Better You, the founder, Andrew, who says, this is one of the best interviews, Liz, thank you. I have a Better You spray bottle of magnesium in my bathroom cupboard. I just didn't realise so many of the benefits. What kind of magnesium is the best? I've just started taking a tablet form. Thank you, Andrew, for such amazing information. Thank you too, Liz. Wonderful. Well, I think there are lots of different types, and I think the key thing is just to take it. We are so deficient in magnesium. There's a really interesting article, actually, online on EarleWellbeing.com. I don't know, Lainey, I know you've got a few problems with Facebook and internet connection today, but maybe if you can find the article that we've got on magnesium, because that lists all the different types, and the key thing is just to start taking it, and it has so many benefits. Margaret was talking about leg cramps and restless leg syndrome. Well, magnesium can often really help with that. I have a magnesium bath sometimes in the evening. Who's this, Silvana? Can you use the cell return after your skincare products and just go to bed? Absolutely you can. Sometimes you don't even need to use skincare. I mean, it's really strange. I thought I'd never say that, obviously. Say it very quietly. But yeah, it's really amazing how it just replenishes the collagen and the elastin and all of that. But we'll do a separate talk again about cell return mask. Patsy, how is Liz saying focus with all the packing that needs doing? Well, it's just a process, isn't it? I keep telling myself, I think whenever you have something really big and quite challenging and quite daunting, you just have to say, it's a process. It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's what you do. And there's no point in fighting it or getting annoyed or stressed. And I don't know, did anybody listen to my Friday 5 podcast with Robin Seeger, the motivational speaker? Do go and have a listen if you haven't already, because he was very good. He was talking about anxiety. It was really timely, actually, and he had some really good hints and tips. And he was saying the thing is, we're all going to get anxious about things from time to time. And the thing is not to let yourself become anxious so it doesn't become you, but you acknowledge that it's there. So you go, oh, anxiety, yes, hello, yeah, I recognise you. Yeah, well, that's fine. You can just sit there for a bit. I see you, but you're not actually going to become me. And anyway, he really generously gave us all a free 5-day course. So it's called Pathway to Peace of Mind. It's great. Oh, Anne says, brilliant, you've downloaded his course. Yeah, Patsy, great advice. Really, really good. Do take a listen. He's a very interesting man. And it's a 5-day free course. It's 5 minutes a day for 5 days. So come on, hopefully we can all 5 minutes, can't we? And thank you, Lainey Dunning. You've popped a link up to that. And the first day, it takes you through different things that you can use. So breathe. The first one, I think, is breathing. The second one is about awareness. You know, there are lots of different techniques that once you've learnt them, you can then just practice and put into everyday life. So if you go to Earle Wellbeing, Carol's asking where she finds it. Okay, so you can download it. He's actually put up a special website. It's called pathwaytopeaceofmind.com. So really easy. And he's not going to spam you. It's just a free resource. He's done lots of other things. He doesn't need to be, making lots of money out of paying for all sorts of other things, but it's just a free resource. Or you can go to Earle Wellbeing and there'll be a link there. If you go to wherever you hear your podcasts, so whether you download them, whether you go to YouTube, because obviously we put them on YouTube, whether you get them on Spotify or iTunes or, whatever the platform is, Google Play, any of those, you'll be able to listen to it. So, yeah, Sue, it was really interesting, actually. It's lovely, I think, just to connect with like-minded people who can give us all these helpful things, especially when they're free and they're easy and they're interesting and they're credible. That's the key thing, isn't it? We want things that work, whether they're products or ideas or courses or whatever. Gosh, lots and lots. Thank you. Lots of nice, kind comments here. This was from Karen, actually, on Instagram. This was about the tree podcast. That's another lovely one. If you've got a long journey, if you're travelling, trapped in a car, or maybe you've just got a bit of time out and you can sit maybe under a tree, do take a listen to the podcast that I recorded with the Bavarian forester. That was really, really interesting. And Karen says here, thank you for another amazing podcast. My favourite listen each week. I particularly enjoyed your recent one about the life of trees, which has made me view trees with more awe and love, and also confirmed what I've always felt, that they are intelligent life forms. Yeah, they definitely are. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for being with me. I'd love to stay and chat, but I have a lot of packing to do. So luckily I'm surrounded by lots of lovely smells that are keeping me calm. So I will be on my stories as and when. Bear with me if I'm not quite as on it as I normally am, but normal service will hopefully be resumed very soon, and I will be back with you live on Wednesday. So thank you for tuning in today. I wish you a lovely start to the week. Thank you for all your kind comments. Really appreciate it. Sending lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.